Hey all you glizzy gobblers, I'm Dale Rodman Jr. III, and this is Slow to Pro, the video series where we go from slow to no malarkey, a mid-pack madman. This is round 3 of Zealous Racing League's 12th season. We're here at Barcelona. We got changing weather to deal with. This race is gonna go from wet to dry, just like my women. Got 29 total cars on grid. We are starting in P27, P16 in our class, and it's time for the green flag. Quick reminder, the black number badges in the standings on the bottom left there, those are the people in the second class, the normal people class, and the white number badges are the better people, the first class citizens. We're gonna take it nice and easy down into turn 1. Can't see anything because of the water spray, so I'd rather be cautious than come out of here with damage, especially considering that there are cars 3 wide directly in front of us, and any mistake from any of them could lead to the end of our race. But thankfully everybody keeps it clean, and it's time to put the hammer down and get filthy. I do all of my VR testing to make sure my settings are good, make sure the recording comes out good. I do all of that testing in max wet conditions here at Barcelona. So this little piss mist of rain, it's not scaring me. We scoot right up the inside of the Aston Martin going under the bridge there. Got a car off on the left there, coming back on. We're 3 wide, get back down to 2 wide here, but I know that that car is gonna come darting back up. I can see him there on the radar. Boom, there he is on my inside now. Just gotta hold our line, and against all instinct, don't do anything stupid. Another car off on the right there. Allegedly, that's going to put us up into P22 as we get nice and close to Mr. Beaudry and his McLaren. Real quick, a big thank you to everyone that's been subscribed, and a tiny thank you to those of you who subscribed recently, even though I've been inconsistent with uploading. I'll be back in the groove soon, I hope. We're getting real close to that 400 mark, so again, thank you to everybody. Back to the action. McLaren's going to take a little bit of a defensive line here, and I'm going to let him know, bro, you leave any window open, I'm stuffing my big fat bald head right up in it. Even if I can't make the move, I'm still going to do a little peeky pokey, still going to take a look at it, still going to see. Got a good 7-car train headed into the final sector here of Barcelona. And the McLaren behind me is going to make a mistake, but luckily he's going to make that mistake to the outside of the turn. So even though he made a mistake, he's a genius. Great job. I got my piggy toes crossed, hoping for a mistake out of one of these cars in front of me through the chicane, but it does not happen. Hopefully through the final turn also doesn't happen. But what does happen is I catch the traction control a little too much on the exit there. Don't quite get the power down like I need to. In addition to the poor slipstream provided by the McLaren, leaves us just hanging out. We're just hanging out. What you doing? Just hanging out. Nothing. Chilling. Tuck back in. Gonna have to try that one later. Got a Mercedes struggling offline there, piloted by Mr. Belanger. Either struggling in the wet conditions or stuck on dry tires. I'm guessing dry tires. I try to take an inside move and decide, maybe 3 wide on lap 2 is not the best idea. Belanger also closed the door, which also helped me make that decision. And now we've got the Aston Martin creeping up to our back left, which is going to keep us from getting around Belanger. So we're kind of boxed in here, stuck, and we're going to have to wait until the Aston Martin comes screaming by us right here. We're gonna have to tuck in behind them, hopefully, and get around Mr. Belanger, who is, again, typically a much faster driver than I am, but I'm assuming is stuck on dry tires or is having a hell of a time dealing with the wet, but I'm thinking dry tires. Headed up through the S section here. No room for me to make a move, so we're gonna have to wait for this fast right-hander, because I know if he's on them dry tires, he's gonna have a hard time maintaining grip, and sure enough, he does. So coming through the exit, we're able to whiz right on by, but I pay very close attention to that radar because I'm thinking dry tires, he might struggle to get that car to stop, and sure enough, he does. So we just swoop back in, no harm, no foul, we'll keep it moving. Didn't even affect me. Skipping ahead about 2 turns into the future, the McLaren in front of us has a bit of a moment, goes off circuit, comes right back on, but has absolutely no momentum. We're able to scoot right up the inside, stuff our big fat bald head in there, establish our position, gain the position, and now we're headed down the straight, just hoping that we don't get rear-ended as we head into the braking zone. But this is someone I have raced with many times before, so I trust him. I get back over in front, get into the brakes, and all my fears are alleviated as we do not come into contact with one another. It's a nice, good, easy pass. Let's go ahead and skip on ahead again to the 4th lap now. The Aston Martin that passed us earlier got a case of the spinsies. Thank goodness they were holding their brakes there, did not rejoin. Puts us up into P20 overall, P10 within our class. Let's go ahead and skip on ahead. Here we are at the start of lap number 5. Mr. Portis II in his Honda rejoining the circuit after a little bit of an oopsies. The 117 McLaren is a little bit distracted. He goes a little bit off circuit and leaves a little bit of a window for us to stuff our big fat ball head in, and we do. We make an easy peasy pass out of it, puts us up into P19, which is going to be P9 in our class. Let's go ahead and skip ahead now to the 7th lap. We got some traffic from some of the top tier guys who had a couple accidents working their way through the traffic. The red Ferrari that is in my class gets kind of pinned to the outside there, and I say don't mind if I do. I'll squeak right up the inside of him. He spins out behind us. See you later. Puts us up to P18, P8 in our class. Clawing our way up. For the next bit of action, we're gonna have to skip ahead again, one lap into the future. We had a great exit coming out of the final turn, into the slip, out of the slip. Gonna be a nice routine inside pass, right? Pretty much deadlock into the braking zone, but I screw the pooch on the brakes and I go right off onto the other side of the track. Thankfully, Mr. Fender saw that happening, gives me the room to come back onto the circuit there, and we both live to fight another day. So let's go ahead and skip ahead again. Here we are at the end of lap number 10. The game is telling us that slick tires are optimal. I didn't see that. Mr. Fender did. He went into the pits. He's going to go ahead and get himself some dry tires. I'm going to stick it out for another lap, which ended up working out if we skip ahead now. Ended up coming out of the pits in P17, which is P7 in our class. So I'm pretty happy with the fact that I screwed up and didn't go in for dry tires last lap. It ended up working out. Let's go ahead and skip on ahead now to the end of lap number 13 / the start of lap number 14. Right on the tail of Mr. Collis in his Porsche, just hanging out, enjoying the slipstream. You know, I wasn't even expecting to make a move until all of a sudden his Porsche just woo. Gotta make the move there. Almost gave him a booty blast. Don't want to do that. That's not in the cards today. This time we go at the inside, and this time we make it stick. I leave a little bit of room on the inside there because I just wasn't sure where he was. Lost track of him. We gained P16 to somebody in the pits, and that move there put us up into P15, P5 in our class, which if we skip ahead is exactly where we finished. So round number 1 we finished in P8. Round number 2 we finished in P5, and after penalties were applied to the other drivers, we finished here in P number 4. I'll be back soon with all of the action from round number 4 at Kyalami. As always, thank you so much for watching Slow to Pro. I'm Dale Robin Jr. III. You guys have the kind of day you want to have.